We rejoin our hero 6 hours into what will eventually become a 14-hour session. Stuck for $1,000 and in the game for $3,000. Can he make the comeback?
I didn't mention this last vlog, but some eagle-eared viewers posted it in the comments, so yes, this is my buddy Brad Owen, and he's seated to the right of me. If you didn't know, he has a vlog too. It's about poker. You should check it out.
Yes, you've been here for a while. Kevin was saying he saw you at 11 this morning.
No, I got here. No, at 11 this morning I was with Lily buying a Kia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's by no means mandatory, but oftentimes, instead of paying the $7 per half-hour time rake, the table agrees to do a bomb pot and have the dealer take the time charge for the entire table out of the bomb pot. That's what you're seeing here. $30 per player, 8 players, bomb pot. I'm in the big blind position, second to act. The first board shows King, Deuce, 9, Rainbow, and the second board shows 10, 7, 6, Rainbow. In other words, I have merely a pair of sixes. Nothing to get excited about. Surprisingly, this streak gets checked all the way around. The turn puts an 8 of spades on the first board, and the 6 of spades appearing on the second board gives me trips. Brad checks to me, and I bet $100. The only action I get is from the button. He slides in $100. On the river, the 4 of diamonds shows up top, and the jack of spades appearing on the second board gives me a full house. Basically a lock to win the second board. I toss out $300 and he peeks at his cards again and mucks them. Personally, I'm not a big fan of these bomb pots as they end up being such a large percentage of your win rate, but winning them, it's nice.
It's about time that I let them know. Push it to the limit and the envelope. Everything high level at the pinnacle. I do it the most, you do the minimal.
Here, Brad and I are talking about how amazing and incredibly hard what Nimi does is.
It's the most amazing thing, like how he can just like get up and then just like talk about his hands like on the spot, like no script, no, like I can't do that. Like that's like he just goes over, he went over there somewhere and then I go, that's amazing. Like I have to sit down, I have to write a script. I wish I could do that and I wouldn't have to do like voiceovers. You know what I mean? Like I think Boski does that too. He just like talks.
Yeah, I mean, I can do it, but it's not.
It's not. No, it's yeah. I mean, yeah, I can do it, but it's not. It's just very like vanilla. Yeah.
Have anything that's all that interesting.
Right. It'll just be exactly what happened in the hand, and like that. You know, like that's it.
So the tightest guy at this table, maybe even the entire room, raises my big blind from the hijack to $30. Right in the middle of our conversation, no less. How rude. Ace-5 offsuit here versus him. I could probably just fold, but I call. Ace-King-8. I check and he c-bets for $30. You would think a part of me would like this flop. It doesn't. I'm probably dead. I told you he's tight, right? I call just in case he is betting with King-Queen, which he never would, but just in case. Turn Jack of Spades. I check, and thank God he checks it back. The river, 5 of diamonds. Well, hello. I can't go too crazy here because him showing up with Ace-King or Ace-Jack and being scared of the spades is definitely a thing. I toss out $50 fully expecting to lose sometimes if he calls. He does, then takes another look at his hand before sliding it into the muck. I guess I found him with exactly Ace-Queen suited. Lucky me.
I'm never running low. Picture me rolling, I know you see the dough. Passion all about it with action. Unforgettable history, it's classic.
The lady on my left was from Portland, and we were talking about how and why the poker in Vegas is very different and more nitty than a lot of other cities in the United States.
The one thing that's different about Vegas, though, about the poker here, is you don't have to be good for the game like you do in other places. If I go to Portland, I play the game or whatever, like I'm gonna see the same people, but I have to like give action and blah blah blah. Here you don't, because there's always gonna be people you've never. There's tours that come in that you can just sit here and watch your iPad or whatever.
I don't know. I've never really been able to like talk to like that player.
Yeah.
Something about like inherently dishonest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just like not like. I mean, nothing against people who do that.
Right.
But like.
Yeah, you don't have to do that here.
I just,
Because the player pool is just there's always just new people.
right.
Dust till dawn, ashes to ashes. No matter the cost, I gotta have it. The lavish lifestyle, watch me cash in. Stand out from the masses, I'm a man.
With Brad on my right and action folded to me, I look down at this hand. If you think I'm going to say it just because he's here, I'm not. You see what the hand is. You're saying it in your head right now. I open to $30 and get called by the big blind. The big blind here, I like this guy. He's also from the Northwest and visits town pretty often. He's a battler. No easy pots with him. Heads up, we see Jack of Spades, Deuce of Clubs, 4 of Diamonds. And he donks into me for $40. That's not really a thing on this board, but like I said, he battles. He donks a lot. Like, a lot. Holding top set versus an opponent that might like his hand more than he should, I find the raise and make it $140. And there's very little hesitation before he calls the 140. The turn brings the 5 of clubs and he leads again, this time for $100. I guess it's time to put in another raise. The board is starting to move in a direction I really don't just want to walk myself into. I make it $300 and he hems and haws a bit, says he has a straight draw flush draw,
Straight draw, flush draw.
and folds.
This is the highest level. The pinnacle, the mountaintop is no one better.
A few hands later, the same guy, this time in the low jack, limps. Brad raises to $40 from the cutoff, and I look down at ace-5 of hearts on the button. It's time to go to war. Friend or no friend, blood will be shed here.
This is Sparta!
I put on my big boy pants and raise to $120, expecting the heads-up battle to be commencing in seconds. Wrong. I told you the low jack is a battler, and he has decided he doesn't want to be left out of this fray. He calls the $120, as does Brad. Jack 10-8 with 2 spades. Oh, yuck. Never seeing a flop he can't donk, the low jack leads for $200. Brad insta-folds, and having mentally prepared for battle, I now take a second to mentally unball my fist, and my hand finds the muck too. He shows ace-9 of spades.
We're gonna call that one back.
I had pocket 4s, so not a good flop for me.
Ace king.
No.
What is that?
Ace-5.
Oh, yeah.
About 5 minutes later, I open from under the gun 2 to $25 holding ace-queen suited and get called by both blinds. The small blind being our rampant donking friend. Ace-jack 4 with 2 diamonds. In a normal flow, action would check to me and then I'd act accordingly. However, here, not surprisingly, the small blind donks. He makes it $70, a pretty large bet into 2 people. The big blind folds, and I call. When the turn 5 of clubs falls, he leads again, this time a bit smaller, $60. Knowing that he probably wouldn't bet for this size with 2 pair out of fear of the approaching draws, I feel pretty confident that my hand is ahead. I raise to $200 and again, he folds.
The legacy, the dynasty will reign forever. It's now or never. This is the highest level.
Not much time passes, maybe 15 minutes, before we get wrapped up in another fracas. From the low jack, I opened a $30 with pocket queens. The call coming in from the tightest player in the room out of the small blind screams pocket pair, but doesn't seem to concern our friend in the big blind. He raises to $100. I've yet to see him raise. Call a lot, yeah. Raise, not so much. Albeit a pretty small raise coming out of that position with two players already in the hand. I'm normally not raising queens here, so I slide in the call and the small blind folds. We see another flop. Heads up. My heart sinks seeing the king of hearts in the window, and sinks further seeing the ace of diamonds behind that. However, sliding into that third flop spot is the beautiful queen of spades.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
The big blind then unleashes the biggest bet I've seen from him all night. An overbet $260 lead into a $230 pot. Well, that's interesting. There are some questions running through my mind right now. One, would he play aces or kings like this pre? Maybe. How about ace king, ace queen, king queen, jack 10? Ace king, ace queen? Yeah. I'm not sure about the others. Either way, we aren't folding. I call the $260. Poker gods, I don't know what a clean turn would look like, but find one for me, please.
What's that? 18 and a half, maybe?
The jack of spades falls and he continues for a sizable amount again. $400. Jesus.
Oh, no. No.
Call. The river brings the 9 of spades, completing the backdoor flush draw, as if things couldn't get worse. At least there's no big bets this time. He checks. Well, he's not checking a flush, but on the same token, he's not folding a set or a straight if he has one either. He's just not. So betting won't accomplish pushing him off a bigger hand if he happens to have one. I guess I just check it back and take my punishment. I check and drag in this pot when he tables king queen for a flopped bottom 2 pair. Literally the next hand, this time it's me with king queen and I open a $20 under the gun. The cutoff, the button, and the big blind all call. 4 players. King 4-4 and the big blind checks it to me. I continue for $30 and only get action from the player on the button. Like I said, he's a battler. He's in there. A lot. However, when the 10 of diamond hits the turn, he begins his folding motion before I can even complete my $50 bet.
Yeah, the mega rev boys hear sentiment. Flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best. Can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Don't worry about what next, yo man. Wanna know what's next? Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Cause now is the present that money came by. Hands in the air, we're both up in the sky. Say, now is the present that money came by. Say, now is the present that money came by. What's next? Yeah, black and I'm proud with it. The flow halal, I ain't mad with it. You ain't got goals, you ain't allowed with us. You making noise, then get loud with us. Don't be shy, better know how we do. What's next is what's now, that's the way that I move. I put that on my crew, you know we can't lose it. Next is now, so now it's exclusive. Flow so hard, that's why we stay cruising. Why play around your best to shoot it? Why lay around your best to move?
We're out here in the mid-session update spot, but there is no way, shape, or form in hell that this is the mid-session update. I've been in this game for 11 hours or so, hung out with Brad to my right for most of it, was stuck for most of it, have been card dead for all of it, and we finally got up a little bit. But the game's still good. In fact, the game is amazingly good. So as long as it stays amazingly good, I'm going to try to stay here. I'm going to try to hang in there. As you can tell, I'm walking back in, and I would say let's give this another 2 hours, but we might end up giving it another 10. Let's hope not, but you never know. After some of the more actiony players leave the game, I request and get granted a table change. But unfortunately, this new table seems just as dead as my last one. I guess all the actiony players went home. It's been a long, long day, and as I'm debating on leaving, I look down at this beaut. Hark, good sir, and permit me to rectify thine error. That visage thou mistaketh for a beaut is none other than the esteemed Mr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the venerable Mr. Riley B. King, known in greater circles as BB. Peasant, away with thee. I shall assume the mantle of narration forthwith. With 2 ebony kings gracing my hand, I cast the die from the hijack, demanding a sum of $30. And lo, the cutoff doth heed this summons. I hath suffered the loss of 200 coins since taking my place at this accursed table. Thus, this wager is a balm for mine ailing fortune. Upon the tableau unfurls a flop, revealing the numbers 9, 5, deuce with 2 spades. I abstain from further wagers, and he, too, declines. As we journey to the thoroughfare of 4th Street, a deuce emerges. I shall not forego this chance, and so I lay down a bet of $40. He, in turn, relinquishes his claim. Alas, is the entirety of this gaming session a tragedy? A tale of woe? Prithee, attend to me, thou attendant of the management, and fetch me a vessel for mine chips. I yearn to depart this establishment forthwith. Hold. What marvel is this? 2 scarlet kings, by my troth, all is not lost. Once more, I place a wager of $30 and 30.
30。常来这边玩吗？没有，我在洛杉矶玩。哦，洛杉矶那个赌场吗？多少？
At the proverbial chips in the rack.
我到哈斯勒。哦。
Aye. The moment of departure is nigh. Okay, we're about 2.5, 3 hours after the mid-session update. So total, this session was about 15 hours, and most of that I was just card dead or spot dead or stuck in between 2 players not allowing me to do anything. In the game for $3,000, out for like $3,054 or something after 15 hours. I'm max frustrated, and you know, any profit's good. Profit, good. But after 15 hours, but you know what? It's just another day. It's just another session in a long series of sessions, and I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna shake this off. I'm gonna get some sleep, and
Yeah. I just want an easy session. So, if you like the vlogs, leave me a comment, and I will probably respond. And I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm not in the best mood right now. This is me not in a good mood. So, I'll catch you next time. Bye.